Hi guys, long time no see. How the hell are you? So it's been a while since I've done anything related to Kpac Studios gaming. Matter of fact, I think the last thing we did was Thanksmas. It was me and Cree. So, what the hell have I been up to this entire time? Well, let me tell you. Most of it has been good. Quite a lot of it has been good, actually. Some bad, some self-discovery. So, a lot more of my reason for this channel slowing down was that I had joined a Facebook group for streaming in hopes of gaining more people, and it kind of worked, I guess. But at the same time, it didn't, because I lost kind of my individuality and how I wanted to present my games and my product, and I couldn't keep up with their schedule and what they wanted me to do. I'm working a full-time job. I have extracurricular activities outside of work and whatnot, so that really cut down on the time. They wanted me to do at least 2 hours of streaming 2 or 3 times a week. And I was sitting here thinking, each time I got off work, man, that don't leave a lot of time for a lot of stuff. And you guys know that most of my recordings and stuff take place on the weekends when I can do it. So, me and Starborn Dragons parted ways. It was not on bad terms. They understood, and I understood. It was all just one of those things where it started out good, and it was actually something I started when I was not employed. Now that I'm employed, it makes it harder to do. Fast forward to the beginning of this year. I have really been in serious talks with a few people about voice acting. And I actually have a project that I'm supposed to be a part of in 2023, 2024. It's a big project. I'm not going to talk much on it. But if all goes well, it will be on Adult Swim. So, it's needless to say, not for kids per se, but it is what it is, and I'm hoping that this will help open a few doors. Along the same lines of voice acting, I actually finally was able to get around to doing some research and thinking, you know what, I'm not leaving Tennessee anytime soon. I've got too much responsibility here, and there's too much going on with COVID stuff. What can I do to start getting my voice acting stuff going? Lo and behold, I saw an ad for Mr. Blum's, or for those who know him better as Steve Blum. He does the voice of Wolverine in Wolverine the X-Men. He does the voice of Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 10 and 11. And various other voices that he's done over the years. I saw an ad on Facebook just browsing one night that he had a free class, a free master class. I'm like, there's always a catch. What's the catch? So out of curiosity, I kind of looked, and I went there, and I saw that there was no catch. He actually did offer what he called a master class, which is basically an overview of what he does, some of the techniques he uses, and what his classes are about. And that's what caught my eye. I was like, classes? Exactly what kind of classes are we talking about? Come to find out that for a monthly fee, I can join his class, and I have access to all his previous classes that he taught, plus the monthly classes going forward, as long as I'm a member. It's not a quote-unquote acting school. There is no real voice acting school. And he explained this in his webinar, that the best way, well, actually this was on D. Bradley Baker's site, who, if you guys don't know who D. Bradley Baker is, he does a voice of Klaus the Goldfish in American Dad. Anyway, the best experience you can get and the best teaching you can get is to actually get out into a theater or improv or something, somewhere where you're on stage and doing. And I got to thinking about it. I was like, there's a lot of sense there. Because Rob Paulson said once in an interview that any and all voice actors come from a solid acting background. And I was confused on what he meant by acting background. I was like, is it classes? Is it just somebody doing it in their extracurricular and coming up with their own profile? Which I found out is exactly what it is. You do your own profile, logging your experience and everything, along with the role you played, how long you played it, whatever the case may be. And if you guys haven't noticed, I'm exercising one of the things Mr. Blum taught me, and that's not moving my head or face around very much at the hands and whatnot as I talk to you guys. And this is the hardest thing because I'm a very animated person. You know, I'll move my head, my whole body. I'm catching myself doing it even right now talking to you guys. But the problem is that when, you know, it's okay to be animated, but you have to keep your voice right here at the microphone. He also taught me that the proper mic technique and care as well, so I'm exercising that, which is why I don't have this massive boom right here. I don't need it, and I didn't realize I didn't need it. But moving on, hopefully in a couple weeks or so I will be signing up for this, and I have found a couple of different theaters here in Tennessee, kind of locally where I'm at, to where maybe I can get in and start this. My family and friends all know that I want to go into voice acting, and while some of them are hesitant, they are very supportive. And perhaps the one that's most supportive is my girlfriend. And if you watch this, thank you so much, babe, for supporting me in this wild, crazy ambition that I have. Why is my want to voice act so strong? Well, in order to do that, we got to go back to 4th grade. About graduated in 08, in high school 04, so we got to go back to about 1999, 2000-ish. I found animation and comic books were so liberating for me. It allowed me to express myself creatively in different ways. I say animation, but it started with comic books, because I found that when I read comic books, I would either give the characters voices, or I would try to mimic what I've heard. If the comic book actually has like a video adaptation or whatever, I would try to mimic that sound for that character, the ones that resonated with me, and the one that I can distinctly remember doing all the time because it was my favorite was Batman. I started out doing Batman, Joker, went to Spider-Man, just all sorts of different things. And if you want to get technical, it stems back further than that to when I was playing with wrestling figures and stuff. I'd cut promos in the ring and all that stuff. I would act like color commentary. And that kind of goes into one of the things that Mr. Blum talked about as a voice actor. Do not be afraid to play. Go back to the mindset of that child in a sandbox. You didn't care who was looking. You didn't care what people thought. You were just playing, and you were having fun. And I realized after hearing him say that he had those same fears that I have right now, trying to get in. You know, what if I'm not good enough? What if this? What will my friends think? Blah, blah, blah. I gotta cast that all out. I'm working on that. And I have found that since I've started doing some of these exercises that he had in his master class, that I've been a lot happier. Like, I don't care so much now what people might think or the faces they might make when they hear me do a voice. And it has inspired me to start something new for this channel. A long time ago, you guys heard me talk about comic book Let's Reads, and that was something I wanted to put on my channel. Well, stay tuned because it's coming a lot faster than you think. So, off of the subject of voice acting, what else have I been doing that has kept me from this channel? Well, as I mentioned before, I, in collaboration with Creomancer, also have a secondary channel with him called the Geeks. I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can go and subscribe there. We did our first game stream with it last Saturday. It was a week ago from today, I think. Anyway, we did our first game playthrough, and it was just more us messing around and stuff. But then we got to thinking, what if we took this a step farther and actually joined a roleplay server where it could combine our love of video games and our love of doing roleplays like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff into one. And he thought it was a great idea, so that's something that's going to be coming exclusively for the Geeks. I might upload episodes here and there as teasers on my channel, but for the most part that will be exclusively on the Geeks channel. So we've been doing that, and like I said, most of it was good, most of it was self-discovery, such as my thing with Starborn. I realized that it wouldn't work out because scheduling, number one. Number two, I just enjoy being my own boss and not having to get fear or be afraid. I'm sorry, I talk good. I didn't want to have to live in fear of being kicked off of Facebook because what I play or what I do was not friendly. Zuckerberg and everybody behind the team in Facebook has gotten absolutely crazy and cracking down on things like, I don't know, it's just crazy. My girlfriend has gotten banned from Facebook 2 or 3 times for posts that really were not offensive, but Facebook flagged it as being so. And I got to thinking, if they're doing this so much right now, what's going to stop them from messing up my videos and what I'm doing for Starborn and myself on here? So in doing that, I decided that for once the Facebook algorithm was worse than the YouTube algorithm. So I'm coming back to YouTube. You guys will start seeing some of the videos that I did live streams of for Facebook coming onto this channel in the future, not right away. So keep that in mind. Another series that Cree and I are going to do for the Geeks, and I will upload them onto this channel as well, is we're going to do sort of a side-by-side playthrough of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. He's going to be playing Fire Red, I'm going to be playing Leaf Green, and we're just going to have a good time. What does that mean for my solo projects? Well, obviously, I'm going to be trying to focus more on voicing some video games here and there, things like maybe reviews of certain things and why it resonates with me so much right now at this point in my life. With that being said, I'm going to end this video because I've started rambling way too long. But that's just kind of an update of what's going on, what I've been doing. And yeah, so there's going to be a lot of good stuff coming in the future. I want you guys to stay tuned and don't go anywhere, because when I start doing the Let's Read comics, it's actually going to be like dramatic reading. You're going to have the atmosphere for certain scenes, the voices. Obviously I won't be able to do all the voices, but I'm going to try my best to do several. Specifically female voices I cannot do unless you want me to voice a Big Bertha style character, and I'm like, okay. So that's pretty much what's going on. This is Kpac signing off. See you guys.